Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. It is time again for another top 10 movies on Netflix UK for the month of July 2019. If you haven't already done so, remember to click subscribe to make sure that you get this list every first of the month for a brand new top 10. I've got some really good movies this time, and as always, these are not the best movies ever on Netflix. It's just a random 10 that I've put in an order that I feel need a little bit of attention, or just a highlight that it's there to go and check out. Let's get started with number 10, SpiderMan Homecoming. Thrilled by his experience with the Avengers, Peter returns home where he lives with his Aunt May, under the watchful eye of his new mentor, Tony Stark. Peter tries to fall back into his normal daily routine, distracted by thoughts of proving himself to be more than just your friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man. But when the Vulture emerges as a new villain, everything that Peter holds most important will be threatened. Spider-Man Homecoming was miraculous. It did something that I thought couldn't be done. It reinvigorated my love for the character of Spider-Man. It really, by taking it back to its roots, giving it a really fleshed out world, instigating it all into the Marvel Cinematic Universe was a masterstroke. Almost as good as casting Michael Keaton as the bad guy in this movie, who's just tremendous. Best thing of all, it's not a world destructive story, it's a small personal tale of Peter coming to terms with his new abilities, a villain who you can wholeheartedly agree with his thinking of why he's doing what he's doing, and this was one of the most fun, effortlessly watchable Marvel movies that I can think of in recent memory. It's one you can just throw on and enjoy. If you haven't seen it, check it out before part 2 lands on the big screen. Number 9, The Mummy. Soldier of fortune Nick Morton accidentally discovers the tomb of a female pharaoh of ancient Egypt named Amenet during a firefight in the Middle East. But when he and British Egyptologists try to evacuate the findings, the resurrected Amenet emerges from her sarcophagus with a plot to enslave humanity. Tom Cruise stars in this big budget re-adaptation, sequel, reboot, whatever you want to call it, of The Mummy. And that's one of the biggest things about it, and its biggest failings. It maybe doesn't need a star, like Tom Cruise in this, and it becomes more of a cruise vehicle rather than a mummy movie, which it should be. The special effects are outstanding, the action set pieces are pretty fun. It is not the best movie ever, and particularly the second half, as they try to instigate this whole dark universe, which isn't really going to come to fruition. It gets a little bit bogged down, but it's harmless popcorn fun that is short and will probably vacate your mind moments after watching it. But during the watching, it's okay, pretty fun. Number 8, Bunks. When two troublemaking brothers scam their way into an idyllic summer camp, they find themselves leading a ragtag cabin of boys into breaking every rule in the book. But the real trouble starts when they accidentally trigger a curse that brings a campfire zombie story to life. Sometimes I don't even know why I start a movie. Bunks was a Disney Channel movie that I shouldn't really enjoy, but I did. It's one of those things that I kind of secretly hold back to myself. I kind of watched this movie. It was fun, but it's not for everybody. It is a horror movie primarily focused at kids. It carries the normal things about summer camp, trials and tribulations throughout the movie, but it has some good scary effects and moments, and the fact that it harbours to such movies as Friday the 13th and Reanimator gets 2 thumbs up in my book. This is one that if you don't like it after 10 minutes, turn it off. It's not going to get any better. If you're willing to go along with it, it's kind of funny, pretty good. Number 7, The Drop. Bob the bartender works with his cousin Mary, who was the bar's former owner. Everyone should have a young cousin like Bob who has been a help to Mary. Bob wishes Mary would go over the past, but in the meantime he has problems of his own after meeting a girl. He finds himself with a situation with many personal and business problems attached. The Drop is a really good, fantastic movie. Terrific performances, a really good story, has a little bit of a mystery, a lot of drama, and a lot of it just rests on the shoulders of Tom Hardy, who yet again gives another fantastic performance here. There are great actors in this, and he still elevates the piece. And It's a story that I don't want to tell you too much about. You know, it just seems like a simple tale of a bartender falling in love with somebody, but there is a lot more to it, a lot more that happens throughout the storyline. This is one that you don't want to read anything about. Just put it on and enjoy it. Number 6, Beats. In this coming-of-age drama, a reclusive teenage musical prodigy forms an unlikely friendship with his down-on-his-luck high school security guard. United by their mutual love of hip-hop, they try to free each other from the demons of their past and break into the city's movie scene. This has a formulaic plot. It's atypical of the kind of things where, you know, like the synopsis says, you have an older guy, a younger guy, they're in emotionally a similar situated place, they have a drive, a passion for something, want to come together and make that good for them. But it does this story that you've kind of seen before exceptionally well, and it's all down to the charisma and the relationship between the lead two characters, which you buy into as they are just having fun making music. Time flies by. You love spending time with these characters. The story round about it is almost negligible, although it is rather good. I was just invested within this relationship, invested within this young boy and the trauma he'd gone through. It was something a little bit different and something that I can highly recommend for checking out this month. Number 5, Creed 2. Adonis Creed is on top of the world after winning the WBC World Heavyweight Championship and successfully proposing to his girlfriend Bianca. But his world soon comes crashing down when Ivan Drago, the man who killed his father Apollo Creed, comes to America with his son to challenge the new champion and avenge his loss to Rocky Balboa 30 years ago. I love Rocky. I just feel like I should get that out there. Every video, I feel like that's the way I should start it. I love Rocky. It's fantastic. And I loved Creed when it kind of took this storyline in a different direction. Creed 2 came out and it was fantastic for me, taking me back to one of my favourite Rocky movies, Rocky 4, and just adding a lot more to it. Now, the movie does have some great leaps in logic, but along the way, it's a lot of fun. We get a fantastic montage scene, which Rocky 4 was primarily just compiled of montage scenes. We get the resurgence of Ivan Drago. You get to see where that future has went for him, how his son is kind of stuck in his father's disappointing shadow, and how he's trying to free the family name again by overcoming Balboas. It just adds so much to the story, and I loved it. I loved the direction, the storytelling, the way it manipulates you. You know what's going to come, and when it happens, you're still on your feet cheering at it. It's that kind of movie. Number 4, Murder Mystery. After 15 years of marriage, Audrey sees Nick as a nice guy, an okay husband, but not necessarily the best husband. Nick takes her on a European vacation, one which originally was supposed to be a bus tour. However, with the introduction of Charles Cavendish and his eccentric peers, they find themselves in a murder mystery plot, one which at times is very similar to the novels Audrey loves. Easily one of the best Adam Sandler movies to land on Netflix. Now, it's primarily because it has a plot that keeps the thing moving, that keeps it on track, that stops it from derailing into just silliness for the sake of silliness. You get the charisma and the relationship between Aniston and Sandler, who play this husband and wife, as they are embroiled upon a murder mystery, which one of them can't really be bothered with, and one of them is just reveling in the fact that they are there. When they become the prime suspects, that's when the hijinks ensue as they go on the run, chased by the police and a masked murderer. It's fun, it has its moments of humour, it has a plot that keeps it moving. Again, this is another one of those movies that will entertain you at the time if you disengage the brain, but after it's done you'll probably forget about it, but you will have had a good time while watching it. Number 3, Rim of the World. Summer camp has barely begun when the aliens suddenly invade the planet. In a campground once teeming with people, 4 misfit teens are unexpectedly entrusted with a key that carries the secret to stopping the invasion. Without any adults or electronics to help guide the way, it's clear what they must do: band together, conquer their fears, and save the world. For these kids, I'm not too sure what the most terrifying thing is. Is it the aliens have landed, or is it the loss of electronics? I not what I'd probably fear most, but this is a really good movie that kind of merges two movies that I love, Independence Day and The Goonies, and just smashes them together to give you a kid version of that. The special effects are fun and exciting. It has some great camaraderie between the kids, taking times out just to have them be kids as well. There's a moment where they have to teach one of them to ride a bike, and it's just one of those fun little moments. Doesn't add anything really to the story, but it just adds a lot to the characters and the way this group have galvanised together. I have a lot of time Rim of the World because I think it's just fun. The kind of movies that you don't see too much these days. It doesn't play down to the kids. It's still entertaining for them as it is for adults who have that 80s nostalgia, and I think it's a great science fiction movie. Number 2, I Am Mother, a science fiction thriller about a teenage girl who is the first of a new generation of humans to be raised by Mother, a robot designed to repopulate the Earth after the extinction of humankind. But the pair's unique relationship is threatened when an injured stranger arrives with news that calls into question everything the daughter has been told about the outside world and her mother's intentions. I really love this science fiction movie because it takes these three characters, one a robot, puts them in a situation and constantly plays with the viewer. It is always changing allegiances between these characters as one may get the upper hand, as one may be playing the other. Some may be telling the truth, some may be bending it. It constantly moves and is fluid and is what keeps the movie fresh and on its toes. You're never quite sure where it's going to go, who's right, who's wrong, who's playing the other person, but it is hell of a lot of fun. It is so interesting, visually very stylish. It's got some great performances as well, and it's a movie that left me wanting more, which is always a fantastic side of a good movie. Number 1, The Perfection. When troubled musical prodigy Charlotte seeks out Elizabeth, a new star pupil of her former school, the encounter sends both musicians down a sinister path with shocking consequences. The Perfection was a real surprise for me, a movie that I knew nothing about, that I had never heard about. I simply happened upon the trailer on Netflix and thought, yeah, I'm going to give that a go. This 90-minute movie was a breath of fresh air. It is a little bit of a horror. It has some weird uses of time as it almost rewinds back at a couple of points in the movie, repurposing everything that you have just seen. It keeps it fresh, keeps it interesting, and it builds this unique mystery where you're never sure where it's going or how it's going to conclude. I want to keep this as brief as possible for The Perfection. I don't want you to read a single thing about it. I just want you to put it on and enjoy what's about to happen for the next 90 minutes. And when you have watched it, come back here and let me know your thoughts on this terrific movie. So there we have it. 10 great movies for you to check out this July on Netflix UK. I hope you find something there that you want to check out, something that sparked a little bit of curiosity in you. If I've missed something off my list, let me know in the comment box below what I should check out, what should make it onto my list next month. As always, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Give me a like to make me feel that all this effort is worthwhile, and I will see you next time on Man vs. Film.